Welcome, everyone. I'm Dr. Annette Parker, president of South Central College, and I'm so glad that you could all join us today. We finally get a gathering on this campus, so it's pretty nice. If the last 6 months has taught us how to be nimble, how to be safe, and so I see you're all honoring the social distancing, spacing, and the face masks, and we very much appreciate that. We're doing everything in our power to make sure that our students, the priority for Minnesota State was that we took care of the safety, health, and well-being of our students, faculty, and staff, and we gave our students every opportunity to complete their semester. So thank you for contributing to that. Just a couple of house cleaning notes. As you come to this podium to speak, this is the one place you can take off your face mask today. And so that's why we have everyone step back just a little bit from the podium. And so please you're welcome to do that as you come to the podium. So, now to the good stuff. The renovation. Each year, the Minnesota State System put SEC's project on a list of campus projects. And each year, our area legislators would write a bill to support it. In 2017, after 4 years, the legislature approved a $9.6 million bonding request for our project. But I want to take a minute to take you back, because this project also had a lot of support from legislators from years past to get to the list and then to finally get funding. I would like to give thanks to Representative Clark Johnson, Kathy Briner, and former Senator Kathy Sharon. We're honored to have Senator Sharon here with us today, and would like to give her a thank you for always supporting South Central College and the Minnesota State College. Even after Kathy retired, the momentum for our project continued with Clark and some of the individuals that are standing here and taking charge to make sure that we got to this point where we are today. Senator Friends and Representative Considine authored the bill in 2017, along with Senator Jasinski, and I want to give a special thanks to them, but I also want to say that South Central College has campuses in Faribault and in North Mankato, and we have together stood by our, as a partnership, bipartisan, to move our projects to closure, and I want to thank each one of you for that work. And Representative Brand, you came in 2018, and you picked up the torch and you ran with it too. And so we very much appreciate the continued leadership that we've seen from all of our legislators to move this project through. I'd like to invite each one of you to come to the podium to make a few brief remarks, and let's do it in order. So Senator or Representative Brand, please. Round of applause, please.
Thanks very much for allowing me an opportunity just to say a couple of words. I know that we're on a timeline here, but I'm a product of a two-year college. I went to Vermillion Community College up in Ely, Minnesota for 2 years before I transferred to MSU in Mankato for my 4-year degree. And I'll tell you that there is a great value in a 2-year degree. It allows you to learn a little bit more about yourself and what you want to do with your life in a professional setting, but also gives the opportunity for the community to benefit from having you on that campus as well. North Mankato is much more wealthy because we have South Central College here in North Mankato. And I know that a lot of students also do a lot of other things in the community. There are a lot of great people that come out of this college and help participate in our labor force, whether it be an EMT or a nurse or a farmer. Tomorrow's farmer also graduates from a college like this. And so I really want to take an opportunity to say, I support this college, I support your mission, and I will continue to be an advocate for you at the legislature if everybody continues to support me at the legislature. So thank you very much.
Just go right ahead.
Yes.
Hey everybody, my name is Nick Frentz. I'm the senator from District 19. Welcome to our district. I live about a mile from here and I'm the proud parent of not one but two South Central North Mankato campus students. I want to thank Dr. Parker, who coined the phrase the secret sauce, which refers not just to the success here with the students and staff at South Central, but our whole region, which we're very proud of, and you deserve a lot of credit for it. I'm reminded of my predecessor, Senator Kathy Sharon. Thank you, Senator Sharon, for coming. Not just a predecessor, but a mentor to me. And as the parent of two students here, I just want you to know I could not be more pleased, not just with where South Central is going, both on its North Mankato and Faribault campus, Senator Jasinski, but where it's going from here. We're training the next generation of workers, and we are very proud of it. And to our guests here from the Minsky board and to former board member Hoffman, I just want to say thanks very much for everything done. We're all extremely proud. And I realize I have just earned a spot on South Central's worst dressed press conference list. But that's because where I was, I simply couldn't wear a suit. So with that, thank you all very much, and thank you for coming.
Thank you. I'm John Jasinski from Faribault. I represent District 24, which is Faribault, Economoseek area. And it's not too often that I outdress Senator Frentz, so I'm happy to be able to do that today. I was actually looked just like him about an hour ago, but I knew if I was going to come down to Mankato and this event that I better dress up because I didn't want to be outdressed by Nick, and I guess it works. You all have been watching the news. It seems to be pretty tough a year for election, nonpartisan or partisan politics going on, but I would tell you one thing. There's things that Nick and I disagree on, but there's a couple things that we definitely work together. And Highway 14 and South Central College are two of those big things that we stand behind each other at the Senate, and we will always support. I did 8 years on the foundation in Faribault. I got to know Dr. Parker very well and have been a strong supporter. My parents still have a scholarship at the Faribault campus in memory of my mom and my dad. So my mom was a nursing student, so we're very proud to be supporters of South Central College, and we'll continue. On the bonding committee, I think it's very, very important to be investing in our education. And I think two-year colleges like this, through the whole COVID thing, are going to become very strong. I think the four-year institution may have a little bumps in the roads, but these 2 years institution that gets people into the workforce at a very reasonable price is what we need in this economy. So we're very supportive of that. We're hoping together to get a bonding bill done again this year, bipartisanly, so we can get that done. That's a huge economic support for our region, greater Minnesota. We need that. A lot of great programs. I know Nick has some, I have some. I don't have a lot of local projects, but I have some big projects in local roads, local bridges, BDPI, which is huge for cities to get investment in. I have a new township road program, but we need to get some money into the economy to do that, and a lot of money into HEAPR. We know we need that as well. So we want to get a bonding fund done here. So thank you very much for having me, Dr. Parker, and it was a pleasure to speak here, and nice to outdress Senator Frentz.
Thank you. I'm former Senator Kathy Sharon, and I want you to know that I retired 4 years ago with the very able Nick Frentz following up. But this is the first time anybody's asked me to say anything since then. So I didn't want to pass up the opportunity. I don't have anything to add. I'm happy to hear from my former colleagues here how on these kinds of projects that build the infrastructure for rural Minnesota are worked on together. And that was really the critical and important message I heard today. And I congratulate everyone on the accomplishment here. You know, there are two industries here reflected: agriculture and healthcare industry, critical, not just for the state, but especially for rural Minnesota. So thank you very much for initiating this, and thanks for asking me to say something.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, and we really appreciate the legislative support. You guys made this possible. It's going to pay dividends for generations to come for the students throughout southern Minnesota, so we're very, very appreciative. So once the legislature was done, the real work of putting this beautiful enhancement together, we started planning this project, which include working with our employees to determine how we could make the best use of our dollars that the legislature supported. And throughout the process, we used an architect DLR group. They're here today. Could you guys step forward and just kind of show us the architects that support the project? They were a great partner. We had Mike Refstan. I hope I didn't chop that up, Mike. And Kate Yurko. And they were great architects to work with. Understand Sean's up in northern Minnesota working on the project. He was the lead architect. It was very instrumental. In 2019, the spring of 2019, we officially kicked off the construction of our project, which we called Renovation 2020. Building the future of student success. Throughout the construction project, from the beginning to the end, our general contractor, Kraus Anderson out of Rochester, has been working with us and with a host of subcontractors, many of whom came from this region. And here from Kraus Anderson today, I believe, is Tyler. Tyler, are you here? And Troy Dale. Gentlemen, let's give them a round of applause. I also want to take a moment to thank some of our own team. Our Vice President of Finance and Operations, Roxy Traxler. Roxy is out ill today. She couldn't be with us. She was just in a Zoom meeting, which is the format we all meet on these days. But she did not want to be here. She's got a little bit of a head cold. And then Russ Brandt, who very deservingly retired a week ago. Russ has been with us for a number of years, and the community is always known when you come into this campus, it's sparkling clean, and that's Russ. And so really appreciate Russ's contributions. And speaking of thank yous, we're so proud of the 37 colleges and universities that make up the Minnesota State College and University system. And I'm honored today to have with us the chair of the Minnesota State Board of Trustees, Jay Coles, and retiring trustee right from here, and we've worked in a number of places together. You know, I think I was his boss on the GMG board, and he's my boss on the Minnesota State Board of Trustees. Bob Hoffman, who will both have a few words for us today. So, Chair Coles, please.
Hello, everybody. Thank you, President Parker, for that introduction. I also want to say special thanks to everybody who's here and has been named to this point. But I also appreciate that we've also had sponsors of a number of our labs in our particular classrooms. And while those will be saved for future opportunities, they're terribly important examples of the kind of partnership with industry, with local businesses that is the lifeblood of making a community college relevant, well equipped, and with a sense of direction in its programs. And I want to acknowledge that group as well. It's a great honor to be here today with fellow trustee Bob Hoffman for the dedication of the South Central College North Mankato campus STEM and Healthcare Renovation Project. This renovation project has been a long time in the making, and it is truly inspiring to be here to mark its special occasion. On behalf of the Minnesota State Board of Trustees, I congratulate President Parker and the South Central community for a job well done. It took a lot of work, a lot of persistence, and a lot of great people who contributed to this success. I want to thank again our legislators, Senators Frentz and Jasinski, and Representative Considine. I don't know, did we say he's not here today? That's unfortunate. As well as the many others who worked to successfully secure funding for this project. We're also tremendously grateful, as I said, for our local industry and business partners particularly as we work together to address the rapidly changing world of work through the pandemic. The dual pandemics of COVID-19 and systemic racism have strengthened our resolve in providing access to an extraordinary, inclusive, and affordable education. And we have doubled down on our commitment to close our educational equity gaps. As we regain our economic footing, educational equity is the catalyst to effect change for students' social and economic mobility, and to provide Minnesota the skilled, resilient workforce it needs. Inclusive learning environments where all students feel supported play an important role in student success. And I know the new North Mankato spaces are designed to support the overall well-being and academic success of our students. Hands-on training and state-of-the-art technology will enable students, together with talented faculty and staff, to meet the region's economic and employment needs now and into the future. This community's passion for its investment in its future continues to amaze and inspire us at Minnesota State and throughout the state, frankly. My fellow trustees and I are immensely proud of the work that goes on each and every day at South Central College. We're excited to see what you do next as well. Congratulations. And thank you again, but let me introduce my fellow trustee, still trustee until his replacement is formally appointed by the governor, Bob Hoffman. Bob, just a cup, yeah, give him another round. Bob Hoffman is a longtime supporter of higher education in this region, including serving as a vice president at Minnesota State University, Mankato, and serving 12 years as a trustee for Minnesota State. I would like to thank Trustee Hoffman for his incredible service and contributions to the board and to the region, but most importantly to the state of Minnesota. He has provided tremendous energy and counsel, and we are going to miss him and are very grateful for all the contributions that he's made. Thank you, Bob, and now please approach the podium. Thank you.
I can wear these all the time. Thank you, sir.
Yes,
Jay. Yes, I'm no longer a trustee. And we're just awaiting the governor, and my replacement I think has been identified, and it's just a matter of when they will not name that person. And as Jay said, well, 3 times better, then so it's going to be a great improvement on the board. So thank you. But seriously, it's another big day for South Central College. I say another because it's been exciting for me in the last many years to be part of this, because one of the things on the board, as Jay will talk about, we've been talking about changing the model, and I think Jay has heard that before. And we talk about skate to where the puck is going. Now I realize today it's a little challenging to figure out where the puck is going. However, I think the focus is still there. The partnerships that Jay talked about, tremendous partnerships. I've watched SCC just partnering with the business and industry community, with the legislative group, tremendous support and partnerships, and with the community, North Mankato, the partnerships that have been developed. That's the key. As we talk about skilled workforce, man, the job that's done here, I looked at when Jones Metal or Crystal Valley or Mankato Clinic, we opened all those. Just tremendous support of the learner, and also the experiential learning that goes on here, giving the learner the opportunity to see what's out there, to more or less get exposed. And it's good for the learner, good for the partners, because they need that too. So this is just the final, not the final, but another piece that is just making SCC, South Central College, so pertinent to the external world around this area. And I agree, our 2-year programs, tremendous, in vogue today. I mean, it's exciting to see what's happening, and it's exciting to see the partnerships, and it's exciting to see everything move that way. So students, staff, partners, congratulations, job well done. Thank you, and now onward and upward.
All right.
Gotta find where I'm at here. Okay. I'd like to, also, I get to take that off. The Minnesota state system has truly been a partner in so many ways. And we work particularly close with the individual assigned to our project, Karen Hewitt, the Minnesota State Program Manager. Is Karen here today? Karen, could you please come and say a few words? Thank you.
Well, good afternoon, and thank you so much, Dr. Parker, trustees. I am so thrilled to be on a campus. My role as a program manager in design and construction, I am privileged to see a project from concept through to reality. I serve as an advisor and as a coach to the project managers and really the entire team to how to really complete a large-scale renovation. But today, I'd like to talk to you about some of the people that really made it happen. It's a story about transformation, transition, and trust. So from the very beginning, the project demanded nothing less than a transformation of the existing space. Two objectives drove this project: create student and faculty environments that simulate real-life technical experiences, and then prepare those students to enter into the workforce or onto a subsequent university. To achieve these objectives, 1960s interior space had to be transformed into modern, sustainable, and collaborative environments. So as the design progressed, the project team evaluated numerous options and alternatives against their values. This team always went back to what they must do, what they should do, and what could they do to make that transformation a reality. But before that transformation could happen, the project team encountered several significant transitions in leadership, project management, and administration. So right before construction, or very soon, SCC hired Roxy Traxler as their new Vice President of Finance and Operations. She's also the delegated project manager. Dr. Deanna Burt as Vice President of Student Academic Affairs. The design team changed up their staffing from a design to a construction focus. The construction manager at risk, they had to assign a new supervisor to manage the day-to-day tasks on site. And the project owner, original owner's rep suffered health problems, and we eventually brought on Pegasus for more robust support. Additionally, other staff and student representatives that were integral during the design had moved on, yet we're welcoming new voices and new personalities to help fill that gap. Did I miss anyone, Dr. Parker? Okay, that was a lot. All right. So just one new member on a team is challenging enough, but this was a whole new team, and they knew it. So how might they work together to finish a $10 million project for SEC? Each team member had a choice. Each team member chose to trust the other one to do their job well. They consistently showed up for each other. They doubled down on honest communication. They corrected mistakes without forcing blame, and they celebrated their small victories with an occasional donut. So there is a lesson here that is especially relevant given today's climate of civil unrest and public health crisis. The lesson we could all learn from this dedicated team is, if we could trust each other, then we might transition away from the destructive behaviors and transform South Central College to better serve our students and community. Thank you very much.
Boy, she told a story there, and what she didn't know about is at the same time we were going through a successful HLC 10-year reaffirmation of accreditation. Which we had our site visit in the middle of the pandemic virtually. So just a great tribute to my team, and that's what we call ourselves, is a team. And that's what I talk about as the secret sauce here in southern Minnesota, that Nick always reminds me of, Senator Friends. So, thank you for your help, Karen. She really made this possible through that transition. And we're very, very proud that she could help us make sure that we have a wonderful building for our region where we can have, and where we've had tremendous industry support. And as I told you, the legislature provided $9.6 million in funding. That seems like a lot of money, and it is. But with necessary infrastructure work and the basic improvements we wanted to make, that would get eaten up pretty quickly, and we knew that. So as we were making our plans of how we would make investments that support student success, everyone at South Central College wanted to do more. Fortunately, SCC has made some very wise financial decisions and has had a healthy reserve for this occasion. So we allocated approximately $1 million of our own money toward the improvements. And then it got really exciting. And with our industry partners stepping in to contribute another $750,000 to the project through contributions to our SCC North Mankato Campus Foundation. For example, and you'll see it on the tours today, Cambria contributed $75,000 in countertops. So who has Cambria countertops in their bathrooms? We do. And that's just one of the many examples. Later this month, we will have a special ribbon cutting ceremonies for these labs that honor, there's 3 labs that have generous donations through contributions that were made possible, so please stay tuned. The Renovation 2020 project was completed in late spring of 2020, with our fall 2020 students being the first to fully enjoy the newly renovated building. So it's time, I believe, to cut this ribbon.
Everybody,
Okay. Hey, Joe Bailey.
all right,
How are you?
okay, so I'm gonna read this certificate to you. The Greater Mankato ambassadors and the staff at Greater Mankato Growth congratulate you and your renovation. In the confidence you have shown in our community and its vitality, reward you with a lifetime of success. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right.
Now it's time to cut the ribbon. Congratulations and have a great Mankato growth.
Hey, Joe Bailey, help me out.
Well, I don't know, I think you did a pretty good job with yourself.
Come on, you're on the foundation board.
All right.
Thank you. Okay, so now I'd like to invite up a person that this work is all about. Our Student Senate President, Taylor, is just an amazing young lady, and I've been fortunate enough to be able to work very closely with Taylor. One of the things I like to say is at South Central College, we made a decision almost from the time I arrived here that we were going to focus on students first. And we were going to make sure that they were job ready, industry ready, or transfer ready, and that we would do everything in our power to do that. And so we began planning to be an Achieving the Dream School. And in 2018, we became an Achieving the Dream School, one of 220 across the nation. And it focuses on student success through a culture of evidence. And Taylor's been at the table from the beginning, talking about the student experience and what it would take for us to do that. And we've had many accomplishments, one of being a hunger-free campus designation last year that we're very, very proud of. And so it's with great honor that I introduce our Student Senate President, Taylor, here. And she was not going to say anything. Do you want to say anything? You're President of the Student Senate.
Of course.
said, my name is Taylor and I'm the Student Senate President for the North Mankato campus. And I have been helping and giving student voice input since 2018. And I just feel so grateful that I chose this campus. I say it all the time. But I do feel really grateful that this is the campus that I am on and that this is the school that I chose to come to, because it is a lot about meeting student needs and making sure that students are put first. And this renovation has really shown that. So I'm just thankful to be a part of it.
Thank you, thank you.